If you've ever watched a wildlife documentary, chances are you've seen a pack of hyenas closing in on a lion's kill, hackling and circling, seemingly fearless in the face of Africa's apex predator.
For years, hyenas have been cast as the villains of the savannah, scavengers, thieves, even cowards. But what if we told you that these so-called villains are actually among the most intelligent and strategic animals in the wild? What if stealing from lions isn't just a reckless gamble, but a carefully calculated move requiring teamwork, planning, and astonishing levels of communication? Let's take a journey into the heart of the African plains, where survival depends not only on strength, but on wit.
And few animals know how to play this game better than the spotted hyena.
From the outside, a lion and a hyena couldn't be more different.
Lions have that royal image, majestic, powerful, and proud. Hyenas,
not so much. With their hunched backs, strange laughs, and reputation for stealing, they've long been the subject of misunderstanding and even disgust. But don't let appearances fool you.
Scientists are beginning to uncover what traditional narratives have ignored for years. Hyenas are smart.
Really smart.
In fact, their intelligence rivals that of some primates.
And nowhere is that intelligence more evident than in their interactions with lions. In many regions of Africa, lions and hyenas are locked in a constant tug-of-war over food.
While lions often win in one-on-one confrontations thanks to their size and strength, hyenas rarely come alone. They operate in clans that can number up to 80 individuals, each with its own social hierarchy and role.
Within this complex structure, hyenas form alliances, share information, and execute surprisingly coordinated attacks on lion kills.
This isn't chaotic mob behavior, it's strategy.
Picture this. A pride of lions brings down a zebra. The pride begins to feed, tearing into the fresh kill. Not far off, a group of hyenas is watching, listening.
Their ears twitch with every crunch of bone. Their noses are flooded with the scent of blood.
But they don't just charge in. Instead, they wait. They calculate.
They count how many lions there are. Are there cubs? Are there male lions? Or just lionesses? How fresh is the kill? How full do the lions look? Then comes the real magic: communication. Hyenas don't just laugh for fun. That infamous laugh is actually a sophisticated vocal signal.
It can express excitement, anxiety, frustration, and even social rank. When they approach a lion kill, their vocalizations help coordinate the group, allowing them to form a loose plan, without the need for eye contact or visible cues.
It's a bit like a football team calling plays mid-run, using only coded signals.
When the hyenas decide it's time, they don't simply rush in. They split up. Some distract, others circle around. The boldest may dart in and bite at the lion's legs or tails, testing their patience, pushing just enough to create confusion.
It's risky, but it's controlled chaos.
If the lions are full or distracted, maybe guarding cubs or fighting among themselves, the hyena sees the opportunity.
They don't need to drive all the lions off,
just enough.
And if they succeed, the reward is a free meal with minimal effort.
One of the most astonishing things about this behavior is that it appears to be learned.
Young hyenas don't instinctively know how to steal from lions they watch. They practice, and they adapt.
Observations from researchers show that hyenas raised in areas with high lion density become more skilled at these thefts over time.
They refine their tactics, learning which lion prides are easiest to target, and what time of day offers the best chance of success.
Some even appear to specialize in this kind of behavior, much like a skilled burglar who knows which houses to hit and which to avoid.
And lions,
they know what's happening too.
They recognize hyena calls. They've been seen responding aggressively to specific vocalizations, sometimes even abandoning a kill preemptively when they sense a large hyena clan closing in. It's a silent, invisible chess game, with every move calculated to either defend or steal a precious meal. What makes all this even more impressive is the risk involved.
Lions kill hyenas, sometimes brutally.
And hyenas know this. A miscalculation, a moment of overconfidence, and a hyena can be swatted down with a single blow.
So why take the risk?
Because the reward is often worth it.
In the wild, every meal could be your last or your next step towards survival. And for hyenas, brains often win where brawn alone might not.
But perhaps what's most intriguing is how this dynamic challenges our perceptions.
We often think of intelligence in terms of tool use or problem solving in a lab. But what if intelligence also means reading social cues, calculating risk, and orchestrating group tactics in a constantly changing environment?
By that definition, Hyenas may be among the most intelligent carnivores on the planet.
Their relationship with lions is just one example of how their minds work.
But it's a powerful one. It shows us that nature isn't always about strength.
Sometimes the most underestimated creatures are the ones with the sharpest minds and the most to teach us. The relationship between hyenas and lions isn't just one of theft and retaliation. It's a long, bitter rivalry that stretches back through evolution, shaped by necessity and survival.
These two predators share more than just territory. They share prey, water, and most importantly, competition.
For every zebra or wildebeest that falls, there's a high chance both species will soon be involved whether one made the kill or not. But this isn't a battle fought on instinct alone.
As we dig deeper into how hyenas approach their lion neighbors, we uncover just how adaptive and flexible their strategies really are.
What makes hyenas so exceptional is their ability to read the moment.
They don't just follow a script. They assess. They change plans. They learn in real time.
And that's something few animals in the wild can truly do well. Let's return to the plains of the Serengeti. A large clan of hyenas has spotted a small pride of lions feeding on a wildebeest. The lions to females and 3 cubs are busy.
One lioness keeps a watchful eye while the other eats.
The cubs, still too small to defend or hunt, play near the carcass. For the hyenas, this is an opening. Not because the lions are weak, but because they're distracted. The hyena matriarch, yes, hyena society is female-dominated, moves forward with cautious steps.
Her posture is alert but not aggressive. The others mirror her, forming a crescent shape around the lions, but not closing in yet.
This is the moment of testing.
1 or 2 bold hyenas will push closer, not to attack, but to gauge reaction. If the lions snarl, stand their ground, or give chase, the hyenas fall back.
But if the lioness growls and goes back to eating, that's a sign. A small crack in the pride's wall of defense. And that's when the trickery begins.
Some hyenas move to the side, kicking up dust and drawing attention. Another group howls and hoops from a different direction, using their eerie voices to create the illusion of greater numbers.
From a lion's point of view, the threat seems to come from every angle.
Their attention splits.
Their defenses weaken.
And in that window, a few hyenas rush in not to take the whole carcass, but to steal chunks of meat and run.
It's not always about brute force. Sometimes it's about confusion and speed. And when the lions finally react, it's often too late.
The meat is gone, and the hyenas are already vanishing into the grasslands, laughing in victory.
What's truly incredible is how these behaviors evolve over time, not in decades or generations, but in days and weeks. Hyenas learn from success and failure with the same sharp awareness we see in domesticated animals or even ourselves.
A hyena that barely escaped a lion's paw will likely be more cautious next time. A clan that failed to steal because they didn't coordinate properly may adjust their approach the next day. It's a constant game of trial, error, and refinement, and their memories,
surprisingly strong.
Hyenas can remember individual lions and their behavior. A dominant male who once charged into a hyena group might be avoided in the future, but a tired, older lioness,
she might become a regular target. This kind of memory-based decision-making is rarely seen outside of apes and dolphins, yet hyenas exhibit it in the wild, under pressure, with no room for error. But what about within the clan itself? This is where hyenas show a whole different level of complexity. Their intelligence isn't just about how they treat lions, it's about how they treat each other. Inside the clan, there's a strict social hierarchy, with high-ranking females at the top.
Rank determines access to food, mates, and even safety. Yet despite this, cooperation is key. Hyenas must constantly navigate alliances, rivalries, and shifting power dynamics. Sounds a bit like human politics, doesn't it? And just like us, hyenas use social cues to influence others. They'll fake alarm calls to distract clanmates during feeding. They'll form temporary packs to challenge a higher-ranking individual.
They'll even hold grudges and remember betrayals.
These aren't simple pack animals following a leader, they're individuals thinking through their options and choosing their actions. One researcher once said that working with hyenas felt like working with a street gang, smart, tough, and always watching. That comparison might sound harsh, but it's surprisingly accurate. Hyenas live in a world where every choice carries weight. One misstep could mean injury or starvation. Yet they don't just survive. They thrive by outthinking their enemies and sometimes even their friends.
And what about those laughs we mentioned earlier?
They're more than just eerie sounds in the night.
Each vocalization can carry a range of information. who's calling, how strong they are, what their rank is, and even what kind of help they need.
In a chaotic, noisy savanna, where danger can come from anywhere, this vocal communication allows hyenas to act as a coordinated unit, even when spread out across vast distances. So when we ask, are hyenas as smart as they say, we need to redefine what smart even means.
Intelligence in the wild doesn't always look like puzzle solving or tool use. Sometimes it looks like reading a room full of predators and knowing exactly when to strike. Sometimes it means remembering who wronged you and who might help you. And sometimes it means laughing your way to a stolen dinner while the king of beasts watches in frustration.
As we watch hyenas weaving through the grasslands, trailing lions or circling a fresh kill, it becomes clearer that their minds are built not just for survival, but for strategy. These animals aren't just reacting, they're planning,
observing, calculating risks. It's a level of awareness that most of us wouldn't expect from creatures long painted as mere scavengers. But where do these skills come from? What drives a hyena to think several steps ahead instead of charging blindly into a fight, like so many other predators?
The answer may lie in how hyenas are raised and the social pressures they face from birth.
A hyena's journey starts in a den, often dug deep into a hillside or termite mound, hidden from predators. Here, the cubs are introduced early to the idea of rank. The cubs of high-ranking females are fed first, play more confidently, and often dominate their lower-ranking peers even before they've opened their eyes to the world around them. These early lessons in hierarchy, in reading dominance and submission, aren't just about power. They're training grounds for navigating life in a complex society. And this complexity extends far beyond the den.
Once hyenas reach adulthood, they become part of a constantly shifting social web. They form friendships, rivalries, coalitions, some lasting years, others only days.
Imagine trying to maintain your place in a group of over 60 individuals, all with different relationships and agendas. It's like living in a village where everyone's watching you, where every action might affect your status, your access to food, even your protection during a fight. In that kind of environment, intelligence isn't optional, it's essential. This same intelligence is what allows hyenas to size up lion prides so effectively. They're not just thinking, can we win? They're asking, who are the lions in that group? Are they young? Are they tired? Is there a male nearby who might join in? How many of us are present? Are they guarding or feasting? Can we create a distraction or fake one? And these choices can change moment to moment.
A lion may look strong, but if it's limping or focused on guarding its cubs, a hyena will notice.
If the wind changes and the scent of blood spreads, attracting more hyenas from nearby clans, they'll recalculate. And sometimes, when the odds are good enough, they don't just steal food, they take over the entire kill.
Yes, hyenas don't always come in after the fact.
Sometimes they take control of the hunt.
In parts of Africa, hyenas are the dominant predator, not lions.
In fact, researchers have documented multiple cases where lions scavenge from hyenas.
That's right.
The roles reverse, and when that happens, it shatters the old myth that hyenas only follow and never lead.
But perhaps the most compelling evidence of their smarts is their adaptability in a changing world. As human populations expand and wilderness shrinks, hyenas have shown a remarkable ability to survive alongside us. In some regions, they patrol city outskirts, adapting their diets and behavior to urban life. They've learned which roads to avoid, how to time their movements, and even how to distinguish human voices. There's one story from Ethiopia that sticks with many who study animal behavior.
In the city of Hara, wild hyenas have become part of the community.
Locals feed them scraps, and the hyenas, in turn, keep the city free of disease-carrying waste. These hyenas recognize individuals, understand feeding routines, and have even been seen learning new behaviors from one another. This isn't instinct, it's cultural learning, something we once believed only humans and great apes were capable of. Of course, there's still mystery in their minds. We can't ask a hyena what it's thinking. We can't crawl inside its brain and decode every motive. But what we can do is watch and listen and start to see that intelligence wears many faces. It's not just about tools or language. Sometimes it's about reading danger in the eyes of a lion, or remembering which call means help me steal and which means run, or recognizing that a meal taken by trickery is still a meal one. Hyenas don't fit neatly into the boxes we've made. They're not just scavengers, not just predators, not just villains.
They're survivors, strategists, master adapters.
In many ways, Their intelligence is born from struggle from the need to navigate both the fury of lions and the politics of their own clans.
And that's what makes them so fascinating. So the next time you hear that eerie hoop echoing across the plains at night, don't think of cowardice or chaos.
Think of a mind at work.
A creature that sees opportunity in the most dangerous places. A rival to lions not just in battle, but in brains. In the ever-shifting theater of the savannah, where each sunrise brings a new test of survival, hyenas continue to defy expectations.
Their rivalry with lions is not just a war of fangs and claws, it's a silent, strategic contest of wit.
And perhaps the most astonishing part of it all is how hyenas seem to understand their enemy better than their enemy understands them. Researchers have noted something remarkable in the way hyenas approach lion territory.
They don't just stumble upon lions and react. They appear to anticipate them.
In certain regions, hyenas have been recorded altering their patrol routes based on where lions were last seen or heard.
It's as if they're mentally mapping lion movements, tracking the competition in real time. That's not just smart, it's situational awareness at an advanced level.
But it goes deeper. Consider how they communicate.
Hyenas have one of the most complex vocal systems among carnivores. Hoops, giggles, groans, grunts, even low-frequency calls we can't easily hear.
Each sound carries specific meaning. Some calls rally the clan,
Others signal alarm.
and some appear designed purely to mislead. In confrontations with lions, hyenas have been known to call out as if summoning reinforcements, even when no backup is near. The result? A moment of hesitation in the lion, a flicker of doubt that might buy just enough time for a hyena to snatch a piece of meat and bolt. Now, that kind of bluffing requires more than noise. It demands an understanding of what the opponent might believe.
It's deception, a form of intelligence often reserved for primates, dolphins, and corvids. Yet here are hyenas, playing mind games in the dust and heat, using fear and psychology as weapons just as sharp as their teeth.
And speaking of weapons, one cannot ignore their physical design.
Hyenas are built for endurance.
Their powerful jaws can crush bone with ease, and their digestive systems extract nutrients from remains long after other predators have walked away. This means they can afford to be patient, lurking at the edges of lion kills, knowing that when the big cats tire or leave, they'll still get something out of what's left.
That kind of physiological advantage supports their intellectual strategy. Wait, assess, strike when the time is right.
But let's not forget hyenas do pay a price.
Their confrontations with lions are not without casualties. There are stories etched in claw marks and limps, in missing ears and torn flesh. Many young hyenas never make it to adulthood. Some never return from a bold raid.
Their intelligence doesn't make them invincible. It just gives them a chance in a world where every mistake can be fatal. And yet, somehow, they keep thriving. Their numbers remain stable in many areas, even as lions decline.
Their territories expand into lands humans are reclaiming. They've even begun to change our understanding of what scavenger means.
Because here's the truth. Hyenas are not scavengers by default. They're opportunists. If food must be hunted, they will hunt. If it can be stolen, they'll steal. If it must be earned through cunning and negotiation, they'll do that too.
It's this flexibility, this willingness to learn, to adapt, to challenge that makes them stand out.
And maybe that's why,
For centuries, hyenas have haunted the edges of our stories. Feared, mocked, misunderstood.
not because they're ugly or evil, but because they break the rules we try to impose on the wild.
We want predators to be noble hunters. We want prey to be weak. We want a clear line between the heroes and the thieves. But hyenas don't play by those lines. They rewrite them. And in doing so, they reveal something powerful, not just about the animal kingdom, but about the nature of intelligence itself. Because maybe being smart isn't about solving puzzles in a lab.
Maybe it's about navigating chaos.
About knowing when to fight and when to wait. About seeing opportunity in defeat, and strength in numbers, and silence as a weapon. If that's intelligence, then yes, hyenas are as smart as they say.
Maybe even smarter. And the lions,
Well, they'll always have their power,
their pride.
their place in our imagination.
But in the grass just beyond, watching with sharp eyes and sharper minds, the hyenas are waiting, not just to steal, but to outsmart, again and again. So, what do you think are hyenas, the underestimated masterminds of the animal kingdom? Do they deserve more credit for their cunning strategies and social intelligence?
Or do you still side with the lions in this age-old rivalry? We'd love to hear your thoughts, stories, or even your favorite moments from wildlife documentaries, drop them in the comments below.
Let's get a real conversation going. If you enjoyed diving into the wild world of hyenas and lions with us, don't forget to hit that like button, it really helps us out. And make sure to subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the most surprising, mysterious, and brilliant animals on Earth. Thanks for watching, and remember, in nature, it's not always the strongest to survive, it's the smartest. Stay curious, stay wild, and we'll see you in the next video.